Most men believe that a weapon must be loud to be lethal. They think power is found in the roar of an engine, the shout of a command, or the heat of an argument, but they are looking in the wrong direction. The most devastating weapon a man can carry isn't forged in steel, it is forged in his own restraint. It is the ability to withhold the very thing the world expects, a reaction. Silence is not just the absence of noise, it is a calculated strike against the ego of your opponent. By the end of this video, I will show you how to turn your quiet into a tactical advantage that forces others to reveal their hands, surrender their leverage, and question their own strength. I will reveal the dead air technique, the specific way to use silence to make anyone, from a business rival to a romantic partner, tell you exactly what you need to hear. Welcome to the Mind Forge, where resilience is forged in fire and wisdom is tempered in battle. This is the place for men who refuse to be average. Subscribe to the channel now and join the elite. Most men don't realize this, but every word you speak is a transaction. When you talk, you are paying. When you react, you are paying. When you explain yourself, you are paying. And most men are broke, not financially, but energetically. They give away their attention, their emotions, and their intent for free. They speak because silence makes them uncomfortable. They explain because they fear misunderstanding. They react because they fear disrespect. But power has never belonged to the man who gives the most. More than he says, and says less than he knows. If you remember only one thing from this video, remember this. The man who speaks first after tension loses leverage. In negotiations, in arguments, in relationships, in business, the moment tension appears, most men panic. They rush to dissolve it. But tension is leverage. Silence allows tension to work for you instead of against you. Now we begin laying the foundation for the dead air technique. Dead air is not ignoring. Dead air is not sulking. Dead air is controlled stillness. Your body stays relaxed. Your eyes stay calm. Your posture stays neutral. You are not hostile. You are not emotional. You are unavailable. Unavailable to manipulation, unavailable to urgency, unavailable to pressure. This alone shifts the balance. Because the person across from you suddenly realizes something terrifying. Backhand index pointing, right, they can't move you. Why silence forces concessions? People negotiate against themselves in silence. When someone makes an offer and you say nothing, their mind immediately starts racing. Did I say too much? Was that not enough? Am I about to lose this? Their anxiety becomes your advantage. And without you saying a word, emotion, they expected to control the narrative. Instead, they are left alone with their own doubt. And doubt is heavier than anger. Anger energizes people, doubt exhausts them. Silence also reveals who deserves access to you. Weak people fear it. Insecure people try to break it. Manipulative people hate it. Strong people respect it. When you go quiet, the wrong people will expose themselves by demanding Begin adding unnecessary details, clarifying things you never questioned, confessing motives you never accused. Silence forces honesty because lies need maintenance, and maintenance requires words. A man who stays silent long enough becomes a mirror. People project their insecurities onto him. They assume judgment, they assume superiority, they assume danger, and perception, not reality, governs human behavior. This is why silence is feared by manipulators. Manipulation relies on emotional hooks, guilt, urgency, sympathy, pressure. Silence removes the hook. There is nothing to pull on, nothing to twist, nothing. It matters. And that reputation is worth more than any argument you could ever win. This is why silence becomes a weapon, not because it hurts others, but because it protects you while forcing the world to reveal itself. There is a moment every man reaches when he realizes that reacting instantly has never truly served him. Think about how many times words slipped out before thought had a chance to intervene. How many times emotion hijacked logic. How many times explaining yourself only made you look weaker, not stronger. Silence, when mastered, is not passive, it is delayed dominance. Most people believe speed equals intelligence. They think the faster you reply, the sharper you are. But in reality, speed often exposes insecurity. The man who rushes to respond is the man afraid of losing control of the narrative. Silence flips that dynamic. When you pause, when you let the and conserved energy becomes presence. Presence is felt before it is seen. It changes the temperature of a room. People adjust their behavior around men with presence. They lower their voices. They become more cautious with their words. They instinctively respect boundaries that were never verbally stated. That is real power. Silence also sharpens your perception. When you are not busy talking, you are watching. You notice inconsistencies. You catch emotional shifts. You hear what is not being said. You begin to read people instead of reacting to them. And once you can read people, you are never at a disadvantage. Most men speak to express. The silent man listens to understand. That understanding becomes strategic. It allows you to choose when to act instead of reacting every time. It turns life into a series of deliberate moves instead of emotional reflexes. And here's the truth most won't admit. The world tests men constantly. Subtle disrespect, passive challenges, quiet attempts to pull you off center. The man who responds to everything is the man who fails those tests repeatedly. The man who chooses silence selectively passes them matters enough that I must respond. Silence says something else entirely. Silence says, I don't need to prove anything to you. And that message lands harder than any argument ever could. Watch what happens when you stop explaining yourself. People will start explaining themselves to you. They'll overtalk, they'll backtrack, they'll justify things you never asked about, they'll try to read your face, they'll try to regain approval they suddenly feel slipping away. This is not manipulation. This is human psychology responding to a vacuum. The quiet man understands something critical. The one who speaks first after tension is created is usually the one who loses. That doesn't mean you never speak. It means you speak last. You let others reveal their position fully before you reveal even a fraction of yours. Silence gives you time. Time gives you clarity. Clarity gives you dominance. And this applies everywhere. In arguments, silence exposes immaturity. In leadership, silence commands respect. In relationships, silence reveals intention. In negotiations, silence lowers the price. In conflict, silence drains the aggressor. Most men talk themselves out of power because they are afraid of being misunderstood. But the truth is, being misunderstood is not those entry points. It turns your mind into a locked vault. No one knows what you're thinking, planning, or feeling, and that uncertainty unsettles them. This is why silence feels uncomfortable at first. Your ego wants to prove something. It wants to correct, defend, dominate verbally. But discipline is not loud. Discipline is restraint under pressure. The moment you can sit in silence while someone else is emotionally flailing, you have already won the exchange, even if nothing more is said. Silence also exposes intention. When you stop talking, people reveal why they were talking in the first place. Some speak to control, some speak to impress, some speak to extract validation. When you deny them a reaction, they don't become calmer, they become clearer. Their real motives rise to the surface. This is why silence is dangerous to manipulators. They rely on emotional engagement. They rely on back and forth energy. When you remove that energy, they have nothing to work with. In relationships, silence acts as a mirror. When you stop explaining yourself, you allow the other person to confront their own expectations. If they respect you, they lean in. If they don't, they lash out. Either way, you gain clarity without saying a word. Silence filters people faster than arguments ever could. Arguments prolong confusion. Silence accelerates truth. In business, silence reshapes leverage. The man who talks first after a proposal loses ground. The man who fills every pause reveals urgency. But the man who listens, pauses, and waits forces the other side to negotiate against themselves. They begin to justify. They begin to discount. They begin to overdeliver. All because you refuse. Arguments, confrontations, emotional tests. These situations are designed to pull a reaction out of you. The other person wants movement. They want noise. They want proof that they've touched something inside you. When you deny them that reaction, you collapse the entire structure of the conflict. Silence forces accountability. If someone is wrong, silence makes their wrongness louder. If someone is insecure, silence magnifies it. If someone is manipulating, silence exposes it. Words give people something to push against. Silence gives them nothing, and that nothing drives them insane. This is especially true in relationships. Emotional pressure thrives on explanations. The more you explain yourself, the more you teach people how to control you. Silence, on the other hand, resets the power dynamic. It says, I am not chasing resolution. I am evaluating whether this even deserves my energy. And that mindset alone changes everything. People respect what doesn't beg. People value what doesn't overextend. People chase what doesn't chase them back. This is why silence makes a man more dangerous, not because he is hiding, but because he is grounded. He is not reacting from emotion, he is responding from position, and position is power. A man who can sit in silence is a man who has mastered his internal world. He is no longer controlled by impulse, validation, or fear of misunderstanding. He understands that clarity is not achieved by talking more. It is achieved by saying less, but meaning more. This is the man who walks into a room and doesn't announce himself. The man who listens while others reveal themselves. The man who lets people talk long enough to expose their intentions. And when he finally speaks, it lands. Stay silent. Stay dangerous. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and join our community of men rebuilding their lives on the foundations of Stoic strength. To continue your mastery of these principles, click the playlist on your screen right now, the Silent Man series. There are secrets in those videos that will change the way you see the world. Until next time.